Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of Quality Shot Boxing. I'm Ali, and in today's video, we'll be doing a slightly shorter video today on the upcoming Tommy Fury vs Jake Paul fight. But before we get into that, guys, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below, and get involved in the videos. Get involved in the live watch-alongs. We'll be doing a live watch-along for the fight, but I'll go into further detail in that later on towards the end of this video. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, as I'm sure you're probably all aware, Tommy Fury, Jake Paul, the saga's been going on for the last couple of years. And to be honest, it's reached a point now where they just have to fight, and thankfully they are. A couple of days out on Sunday evening, on Sunday evening in Saudi Arabia, they're having a fight. In all honesty, I think I can understand the whole boxing world sentiment when they say this is complete, farce and a joke to the sport. I can sympathize with those feelings. Having said that, I think it's reached a point now whereby Jake Paul needs to either step up and fight real boxing caliber, real genuine boxing opponents. The caliber of opponents needs to take a step up. I mean, he's been fighting MMA fighters or legends like that, especially towards for most of his boxing career. He's only had like 6 fights, 6 wins. I mean, the first fight against another fellow YouTuber, Anis and Gibb. I think these fights need to be billed rather as exhibition fights or as white collar fights rather than professional fights. And because I've said this before and I'll say this again, I find it a complete lack of respect towards the actual professional fighters who train and have nothing but boxing. For most of them anyway, have nothing but boxing. So for someone to just come in who's got the views, who's got the viewership, who's got the elite, all of that, to come in and essentially take away from their craft and make a mockery of it is very disrespectful. But at the same time, he's bringing in a new fan base, greater viewership into the sport. So it's very much depends on which end of the spectrum you see it. I see it as, I'll be honest, I'm not at either end of one of the spectrums, although I'm leaning more towards the criticism of it. I think it's excellent that he's bringing new viewership to the sport we all love and enjoy. But at the same time, he needs to start marketing it as a white collar or as an exhibition fight, even as amateur. I mean, to be honest, most likely a white collar fight would be the most suitable thing. So I do think it needs to be marketed as that. But as I said, more controversy generates more viewership, which ultimately generates more money for him and for his opponents. And I think without a doubt, if Tommy Fury wins, which I think most likely he will, I think it's going to improve his, grow his commercial appeal and increase his viewership to the ring. I mean, to his boxing profile. In all honesty, I think that, I mean, Tommy Fury's had like 8 fights, 8 wins. And I don't really think they've been against really high-profile name fighters, but it's something that we expect, something that we know is going to happen in the sport. Especially if you're up and coming. Having said that, I think Jake Paul, the thing that people misunderstand or misinterpret about Jake Paul is that he has fought famous and well-known names within the fighting community, but they're not boxing fighters. MMA fighters are far different to boxing fighters. I mean, I've done boxing and I do wrestling at the moment, and I've trained with people who do wrestling. I've done boxing. I've seen people who train MMA, and I've seen the stances. I think the style's completely different. So I think he's purposely taking advantage of that. He's just taking advantage of the big names. He's knocked out Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley. He's knocked out Anderson Silva, legends of the game, of the sport, especially Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva. And I think Ben Askren as well was a world champion previously in the UFC. So he's taking advantage of that, of the appeal of the names. Yeah, I've knocked out these knockout fighters. I've knocked out these former world champions, these all-time greats. And with boxing, it's a completely different game. I mean, boxing is so different to MMA, and I think coming up against a genuine boxer, especially from a fighting family like the Furies, in all honesty, I think Jake Paul has taken a step too far. Although, if he does beat him, I mean, he's definitely putting the work, and there's no doubt about that. He's definitely putting all that work, but I think it's reached a point whereby I think he's taken maybe a step too far. Having said that, if he does beat him, I'll be incredibly shocked. I'll be so surprised. Between all the fights I've ever watched, or I've done live watch-alongs, etc., I think this will be the most shocking fight for me, and I think it'll be the most shocking result of any fight I've seen for God knows how long, for God knows how many years. I don't think I'll ever be shocked for later fights compared to this one. But I think the pressures on, I mean, people say the pressures on Tommy Fury. Yeah, he's the like professional boxer. He's from the Fury family. He's half brothers with Tyson Fury, the world heavyweight champion. I think Tommy Fury needs to just knock him out quickly, and I hope he does. I mean, like I said, I really dislike Jake Paul. I don't like his demeanor, how he's coming out. He's coming across as being a very arrogant fighter, and I get it. Don't get me wrong, other professional fighters are arrogant, but I think with him, he's bringing the sport into disrepute overall, and I think that's not something that needs to that should be done. We see enough of it. Why is someone who's got nothing to do with boxing suddenly coming in and thinking he's that great? I've seen some of his fights previously, and I think they're ridiculous. I don't think he's got the technique. Yes, he has improved, but I don't think he's got the technique to mix it up with professional fighters. But if he does beat Tommy Fury, then I'll be incredibly shocked, incredibly surprised. I'm backing Tommy Fury, and I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I'd put my money, hypothetically speaking, I'd put my money on Tyson Fury Tommy Fury to win. Like easy. If he wins on points, I'll be very surprised. I wouldn't consider that to be a major win for Tommy Fury. But if Jake Paul wins, then I understand the WBC. Mauricio Suleiman, I think, said that he'll be ranked in the WBC ranking, which is an incredible achievement, considering he's only been there for a very short span, and he doesn't have much boxing experience at all. I think it'll be, and I understand he's a betting favorite as well, based on the odds and from what I've been reading and seeing. I think he's the betting favorite, which I'm very surprised about. But this is something that we have to wait and see. Just a few more days, couple more days, and hopefully Tommy Fury brings the win, knocks him out, and puts an end once and for all to Jake Paul. But again, we have to wait and see. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. But yeah, that's it from my end. That's all I'm going to have to say on the matter. I'm really backing Tommy Fury, not just because we're in England training top and I just want an English fighter to win, but I think for the benefit of boxing overall, and I think most people around the world who are interested in this fight would want Tommy Fury to win because they find Jake Paul to be very arrogant. Something that the sentiment, once again, that I also share. But thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. It really helps us. It really helps us know. It allows us to know that we're actually reaching out to you lot, like coming up, putting out good content for you lot. And it's also always enjoyable to jump in with you lot on the live watch along. So if you comment down below during the live watch alongs, it'll be great. I understand that for our UK viewership, it's going to be on BT Sport Box Office, and in the US it's going to be on ESPN Plus. So don't forget to buy them if you're interested in it. If you're going to watch the fight, buy them. That's the only way we're going to watch it. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And yeah, see you guys on the live watch along. Peace out, guys. Love.